welcome back to Not Your Normal with a K. I'm Yaya, or you can call me Akini.
I'm Tamika. You can definitely call me Tamika.
And what's up? This is Tam.
What's up, Tam? We have a guest today, so we're going to allow him to introduce yourself. Do something fun and catchy like we just did.
Go!
I usually lift my shirt up at that moment, but I don't want to mess my mic up.
Please don't.
No, stop it.
Oh,
See, y'all already. I'm Marcus Free. I'm an R&B artist here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mar.
I knew it was gonna happen because I'm at a table with a couple women. I knew that was gonna happen.
I didn't do it.
She didn't
You
do it.
didn't
She
do it,
wanted
man.
to on the
did.
inside.
I actually have a problem with that little roll thing. I
You can't do it with your tongue?
That's another show.
Can we talk about this
But
later?
What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about the industry. Since
Yes.
Marcus is a beautiful singer. I've seen him sing women's panties off, like to the point of like crawling up the couch, like, stop it!
All right.
You seen that?
I've seen it, and it was like famous people too. He's the man.
You definitely got good recall. You definitely, yes. You got some good recall.
Yeah, but it's funny because our other co-host, which is Tamika, she's also an artist. I'm sure she can relate to some of the things that we're going to talk about today. So, Marcus, how long have you been an artist?
Oh man, maybe like 8+ years now. 8+ years. I started off in like a boy band though. This is my first solo move. I started off in Hamilton Park. We were signed to Atlanta Records with Andre Harrell.
So you're like 20. So you started when you were like
18. I
You
started at
20?
18.
He's not
Oh,
Oh,
heck no, girl. All this, no.
20. He said, all this,
Ain't no 18. I'm old enough.
So who discovered you guys?
Andre Harrell, he came down to Atlanta, and our manager was working at, what was it like? I think it was like V103 or something.
Okay.
And so he played our records for him, and he came out to the house because we had a house like on the east side. And then he was like, man, y'all remind me of Jodeci. Because there's 4 of us. Yeah, it's 4 of us. And then
Who was the
Did
one
y'all
who
wear-
took his shirt off and...
that was me.
Ah.
Yeah, seriously.
So you're Casey.
How do you...
Is that...
No,
Okay,
that was
whatever.
Casey? Oh, he's not
Devontae or
taking...
Devontae?
Devontae.
The ones that didn't sing.
Devontae, but no, I'm not Devontae.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Devontae does, yeah. I mean, but so tell us more about this project that you just finished.
Well, recently, I have Free Meditation. That's the new record, and it's just like big on a lot of, and it's funny because I want to tie into what we kind of talked about off camera about the industry. How I came up with this project, it went against the whole project I already had written with some guys, and they were telling me like, bruh, you gotta stop promoting your damn daughter so much. So,
So you're a dad.
come on, man. I think that's like the sexiest thing a man can do is father.
So who told you not to promote your?
I don't want to
I mean, not specifically,
bad
but
mouth
like
anybody.
management, production.
No, not management. They were more like a production team, and they were shopping me to a couple labels. They actually went to a label, and they was like, we like it, but he's like showing his daughter too much. When they told me that, like, I'm not gonna lie, it was like, all right, if I like,
So what?
what am I supposed to promote? Just sex? Like,
So you considered it.
I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did,
Yeah.
cause I cleaned up my my page for a while. Like they was like snatch her down, so I snatched
Clean
her.
up.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meet the standard, you
Right.
know. But if I got a picture on there with my shirt off, they're totally for it. So it's just like, you know what, nigga, I'm just gonna do this myself.
Feels like we're still in the auction block.
Right? Ooh, I like that.
Seriously. I mean, when we watch those movies and we read history and we know how they used to pick us out, it was all of that. Okay, let me see your chest,
Yep.
let me see your body type, you know, and it's sad that it's still the culture.
Much has not changed, bro.
So
Much
while this leads me to kind of clarify, while we are talking about you as an artist and your personal experience, our show today is about some of the things you have to do in the music industry to get to the point of fame, if you will. And obviously this is a topic that a lot of people, you know, you'll find a lot of conversations around this, but we invited you today, Marcus, for your
Thank
personal experience, you know, to help shine a light on some of this. As an
Yes.
artist myself, I have often refrained from certain.
You're a
what
woman, so I could imagine.
Yeah, what most would call opportunities,
Yep.
just based on the fear of what is actually required to do all that. So
Yes.
that's what we're here to discuss today. I think the topic was a slutty industry.
I like
The
that.
slutty
A slutty
industry.
industry. That is a
Yeah, I
catcher.
feel like that.
A slutty industry.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously you've sat down with a lot of people. You talk about record labels. Tell us about one of your experiences where you realized maybe you were being asked for something that you didn't have to give.
We were in like, what was like somewhere on the West Coast. And cause we was on the Scream tour. This was like the Scream tour was like the thing to be on. It was us, like Jacob Lattimore was on the tour. Jacquees, he wasn't Jacquees then. He was just like trying to get in the industry.
Jack.
Jack? Okay, stab.
Please.
But he wasn't this Jacquees. Like he would perform in front of the curtain. He wouldn't get the curtain open.
Okay.
So it was those group of guys. So of course, like that bracket is like selling sex, and it was just like I can remember getting on stage, and I would always take my shirt off everywhere we went, and for shows we didn't take our shirt off, and it's just so interesting how the industry is. For shows that we didn't take our shirt off, those weren't deemed really good performances.
How old were you guys?
We was like 20, 21. Yeah. So like even club shows that like, and my manager, he wasn't like pressing on us, but he would definitely encourage like, bruh, go out here and do y'all thing. Like it would get pushed, the envelope would get pushed even more. Every show's like, y'all should, and they'll bring it to you in a joking way. Like, man, it'd be crazy if y'all go out there and grab the girl hand and put her hand right here.
But do it.
But do it.
Yeah.
So it was just like, man, it broke me. Like, it broke me. Like, I grew up in the church, so that broke me. Like, I can remember just going to a club, and it was just after we got through performing, and I was wasted. And bro, I just started crying. I'm like, shit, this is the peak?
So who in that circle, like production, management, who checks on like your
Like your mental
health?
No
Like,
one. One thing they guaranteed, like, in every city we went to, we always had, like, what we needed. Like, they made sure we had weed, like, in every city we went to. Even if, like, I remember we was going to a meeting back at the office in New York, and they would have the weed waiting for us. So that was our mental health, I guess.
and they knew you smoked weed? Or
Hell yeah, they knew.
Okay.
Shoot, the day we went to go get signed, Julie and Craig, these are the people, well, I shouldn't be naming people, but the execs, they knew, we had our time to come and meet with them. Andre goes and books the hotel room just for us to go smoke before the meeting, So, like, that was our mental health type of, make sure the artist got, relax you. I ain't gonna lie, at that age,
They wanted you to be high.
At the age it feels good. I remember we was in the club, bro, and it was and I hate to call y'all bro, but we was at a club, and one of the tables, it was like a whole club. What's the girl who sings American Boy? She was there. It was like the club was like small, and if you look at Estelle. Is it Adele? Estelle. Her. She was there, and like some like upcoming actors. They big now. I can't think of the name, but they were there. And the club was like skull heads. Like the walls were golden skull heads. And like you look back now, but in the moment we were just like, oh, we with the exclusive.
Right.
And you look at the table. The table is like some Arabic writing on the rings. And it was just like me looking back, like, man, we were really on the path to like some really dark. A dark career. Like it was weird. Like now that I look back at a lot of stuff, and just being like some of the clubs Andre would take us to were like, nigga, why are we in here? This nigga ain't got no shirt on. His nipples is pierced and they're out. It's just weird because we were young and he was just taking us around because we were his newest thing. And the last thing, Dre was like Uptown, Heavy D. Like he was like OG in the sense to the industry. So it was just like some weird.
Did they push sex on you guys though? Like,
I wouldn't say they pushed sex on us, but they definitely put us in a situation where it was easy to like just fuck your life up. It was like, here. Luckily, the furthest we went was like.
I was gonna ask if weed was the only thing you saw supplied.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I don't want to say too much because y'all.
But don't say any names.
It's not names. It's just.
Yeah, I mean,
Just bleep it out.
There's a newer brand I'm working on now, but that brand, like my name was Mr. Marcus then, and I was uplifting every
Oh, like the
ass-
porn star.
Yes, that's where I got it
Okay.
from.
Oh.
And my management, they thought it was just so funny. It was like, yes, let's push that name. We love that.
Porno.
Yeah. And so like they would make sure we would uphold where Hamilton Park represented. We represent, they say love and all this, but they definitely made sure we were sexually vibrating high, you know? Like from like the records to our choreography. Our choreographer always somehow found a way to put a hump in there. I don't know how he did that. It could be like a love song. I don't know why we dry humping to a thing called Us. That was one of our big records. And it was just like, bruh, nigga, this is like the peak, nigga?
They feel like they can control you with drugs and sex. So if you
Well,
high enough, you
They
do whatever.
isolate you. They like we didn't come home a lot. Like we didn't, like I remember just coming home maybe like twice out of a year. Like the tour was on, got extended like an extra 2 months. So it was like you didn't have access to family or mom and then your phone you had, the label gave you your phone. This was like when iPads first dropped and stuff. So they gave us all the devices and stuff, but you know,
You just video chat.
they're paying for it. They have it. They own it. Your money comes from them. Like, we didn't have to pay for stuff. So the little money we did get, they
so
would.
this is consistent with the narrative that you'll hear, that they make things attractive,
Yes.
they give you what you want, they put, you know, people and circumstances in your path that pretty much kind of lead you down this road. And that's very consistent with the narrative of other people that have given their testimonies in terms of what it's like to
Yes.
really pursue fame in the industry. And what I noticed too, it's not necessarily consistent, or exclusive to the music industry, because it sounds very consistent with what athletes say they have experienced too.
Interesting.
Actors.
Yeah, but I want to go back to you cleaning up your social
Right.
media.
All right.
And at what point were you like, this isn't cleaning up? I want to be this image. Fuck them.
No.
I'm gonna go independent. Or I don't know. Are you in?
I'm independent now, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so that means you don't belong to a label.
I do not belong to everything you see is from me and my management. We carrying it. We
Okay.
come up with the ideas. We come up with the imagery
Sounds
of
more
it.
liberating.
It is. It's harder work though, because one thing the label is, or just even someone investing in the industry in you, it's help. Like they got some good ass relationships. Like I get it. Yeah, it comes with a price, but you get that cushion of like, I know this record I'm putting out is gonna reach at least a certain amount of people. It's actually gonna be on my bracket. It's gonna be my fan base. Where if you're doing it on your own, you're like, you gotta test it out. It's not like you have a machine that has a proven
way of doing things.
Yeah,
and success.
you know?
Yeah, right.
So, but to the cleaning up my page part, the nigga said, nigga said, this motherfucker said, cause bro, when I played it back, I had a car accident and it was like an aha moment. Cause in the accident, I was like, damn, I look at the car, I could have died, right? And this was like 2 weeks after I had spoke to the dude. He was like, yeah, you gotta stop showing your daughter, right? And then he gave me this long example of a story where a guy in the industry has a daughter and only thing he cares about is this nice foreign car. I'm like, nigga need to get his life together. That's the first thing. But it was like, I looked at my page, I'm like, damn, like Logan is my daughter's name. I'm like, she's like nowhere in my branding, nowhere in my imagery, nowhere, because that's the biggest thing I want to push is like Black fathers. Like, nigga, you can still be, I consider myself, I think I'm pretty okay. I'm not like, not fly to the degree where like my daughter has made me not fly.
I mean, your name is Marcus without an A. Like,
that part.
Obviously.
Are you about
So
that?
how do you spell
obviously.
it?
I'm Marcus without an A. Like, and that is intentional.
A with a K.
That is intentional. I purposely, and that
There's
vowel
too many
represents.
vowels.
I took that vowel out.
So how do you spell it?
M-R-K-U-S.
Nice.
Yes. It's still M-R-Us free.
Mr. Cuss.
Shut I'm gonna throw this damn pot at your Mr. Cuss! You got jokes!
Sorry.
Yeah, it's still pronounced,
Yeah,
Marcus.
you're right.
See? And you can roll your tongue and everything. What? But no, man. And here's the funny part. Me and that guy, the investor, had like a pretty heated conversation just recently. This dude was like, I'm gonna pull up on you. I know where you live. It got really And I'm from East Point, so I don't really take.
Okay.
Yeah, born and raised. So I
I
don't
mean, I'm
really.
not from East Point. I just.
Look at you. You fake. You fake. I thought you were from the South Side or something. I was like, there's no relation. No relation. But you don't want to see two black. Me, I can have out of body. Like me and my manager, we really have these spiritual conversations. Like, bro, do we really want to see two black men like going
Tear
that
each
deep
other.
over an industry that don't give a fuck about us?
Right.
It's just like, you know what, bro? Let's just set up a payment plan. I'm gonna get your little money back. Cause this whole about the fight is not like.
It's not worth it.
It's not, cause I would definitely bring in people.
Oh,
So-
from East Point.
You silly. You talking about pulling up to my house? My
That's
daughter's
serious.
ass?
No,
Like,
that's big. That's big.
that's deep.
So,
That's
knowing
big.
what you know though about the industry, did you ever have any apprehension in terms of putting your daughter's face there?
The older I get, the slower I am to do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, the earlier versions of me was like, no, I'm just gonna show the world my daughter. But it's like, the older I get, I'm starting to be like, niggas is weird out here.
Yeah, you want to
Mhm.
protect
But Chris
her.
Brown didn't he do an album label? I mean, titled.
Well,
Yeah.
he did. But Chris Brown's at a place where he got like
He
20
can,
niggas
yeah, he
around
can,
his
right.
daughter that has guns.
That's
you know,
true. That's
I'm not
very
quite
true.
there yet.
You got
So-
guns though.
I got
Just
access.
kidding.
I got access. I'll say that. I got access. It's
he
always good
from
to
East
have
Point?
access. East Point, yes. And that's another thing. Like niggas forget.
it with the
Don't let
East
this R&B fool you, bro. Don't let this R&B give you this illusion that this niggas just won't. He won't react. And that I'm like, bruh, don't get
They
the
shouldn't
R&B.
play with you.
So why I'm sorry, I want to go back to the album.
What's up?
Why is the title Free Meditation? What, okay,
Do you know what meditation means?
define it.
Okay, so like when you're meditating, you're like at a quiet place. Like, let me just stop talking for a quick second. Like, you feel that calmness right there? So I really wanted to create music that does that in such a loud industry. Like, I could have easily done the popular R&B, but I really want to be intentional with my music. I don't just want to be a product like that's there. I want to be like, this is here. I can also do this with it. I can also,
It's a purpose.
yes. So I was like, free meditation to me felt so correct. Like it wasn't even the name of the project at first. It was just something my manager was like, look, let's do this for people to, tune in, and because I do free meditation every day throughout the week.
So it's also an act.
It's more like we're gonna be hitting up yoga spots. Instead of me doing like a regular promo run in clubs and radio, we're gonna be doing a run through the yoga community, like with the music. And so it's called free meditation because people, it's so much shit going on. It's so much noise, even from music, live, y'all dealing with us niggas and us niggas dealing with y'all women. We need something. Yes, I said it. It's both ways. It's
You're
both
right.
ways.
You're right.
It's both
You're
ways.
right.
It's just like music needs to least, I don't want to just be a random ass artist. I'm fine with taking my time. I'm not in a rush.
And when you say niggas, you mean ignorant people, right?
Yes, not like calling.
Obviously.
I mean, those who get it, get
Yeah.
it. Those who don't, let it go.
Exactly.
You know? You know?
Okay, I'll just
So,
do that.
but just like, because the first record I put out was called Free, right? And in the chorus, it says, I'm doing me. Like, it's time out for like chasing outwardly for peace. It's time to really like quiet. Let me go inside and better me. And sometimes the like isolation, like I went through a divorce throughout this whole process, but I could have lost my mind because
Yeah.
I went from seeing my daughter every single day to just seeing her like 3 days out of a week. And for me, I love my daughter. That's my shit. Like that's my real girl. Like I like ride shotgun. Let's go. Like that's my baby. And so like to not see her every day, that shit broke me mentally. And so I had to go to somewhere else where I was like, either I'm gonna go out here and hoe off and not be, because that was an easy option.
But why?
And common.
And common. But what type of example would that give Logan to be like,
Right.
my dad bring like 4 different women around me all the time. It's like, I don't wanna be that guy. I'd rather be.
You said something important. So for me, people that have access to masses of people, people that have access to influence masses of people,
Yes.
that comes with a responsibility.
Yes.
And for me, if you're not promoting for the well-being of them and this world as an entirety, I
Yes.
listened to a song yesterday, And he was talking about taking drugs and being depressed and
Come on.
popping this
And dying.
it was the
Mhm.
track was
Juice
slow and
WRLD.
sad. His
Yep.
words were slow and sad and depressive. And I thought to myself, oh my God, these children really love this music. And for me, there's no mystery about the epidemic of suicide and
Mhm.
overdose and drug usage in that
It's made being a
population
druggie
of
popular
people.
now.
Exactly. It's actually cool to take drugs.
Yeah, like all the drugs. Like
All
you're not
of
cool
them.
with all of them.
Right.
Like weed, that's a little different, but they want you to do
Yeah,
cook
like,
drugs.
take it
Oh my
hard
God.
drugs.
Whatever
It's
Yeah.
that
really
gets you
bad.
high.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the point is that if you're influencing the masses, you have a responsibility.
Yes.
Like it matters
Yes.
what the content of your music, the vibration of the music that you choose, the words,
Yep.
all of that really, really matters. You've been
Yes.
given this platform to point people in a direction, and where are you pointing them? You know, so I think that what you said is really admirable.
To me, artists are supposed to be servants. That's my personal opinion. You are supposed to be a servant. You are responsible for leading your following, whoever, however many people you have, to something, not just glorify yourself.
But there are some artists who use the music as like they're crying out. It's almost like that's their therapy, like Mary
Well, you're
J.
not ready to lead people.
Well, exactly. But Mary J, like, she's huge now. But her second album was like, she said that was where she was at her worst. And then, like we just mentioned, Juice WRLD, he was like crying out, help me, help me, help
Yep.
me in his records. And
Yep.
no one,
Well,
Yep.
as you mentioned
Helped him.
earlier, it sounds to be some space for some real questions around how mental health is checked
Yeah,
in the industry. Because I don't see
definitely.
why she should have been forced to make an album while she was
Definitely.
going through all
Man,
of
they
that.
want them
It's
due
one thing
dates.
to make the album in the aftermath when I'm ready to talk about this and when I can make this
no,
album
we got to
from
make
a
money.
place.
Put it out
You
there.
make this
Mhm.
album. I mean, and so there's room to really check how mental health is being, lifted in the
Yep.
industry.
Yep.
Sounds like a future episode. So
Yes.
You say that all the time.
Every time. And then
Sounds
we
like a
always
future-
forget.
Sounds like another episode.
Why she make it sound sexy?
Right.
Sounds like another.
And then it's time to film, and we were like, "What are we talking about? What is the
All
next
about this
episode?"
we get into our conversations and we love them so much, but honestly, they could go on and on and on. And that's why I just wanted to thank you before
Oh.
we keep going on and on because
No.
Marcus, this is a great conversation, and maybe you could be a guest again, and we could
Yes.
talk about other
Yes.
things. And I look forward to your meditation movement.
Thank you. Thank
Because
you.
think about how much we don't take that time to really hone in and feel what's going on
Yep.
internally, and instead all this stuff we're doing externally, it's gonna just kill us.
Where
Yep.
can people find you?
Every platform, it is spelled the same way. Every
Mr.
platform.
Cuss.
Chill,
Oh
Sway.
my God, Marcus! without
MRKUSFREE, no space, and that is Marcus Free. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Angel is the newest single coming out on the 18th.
That's
Nice.
what's up.
So they can click on my social media and pre-save the link.
Beautiful. Thank you so much
Love
for
it,
being
love
with
it.
Thank
us.
y'all.
Thank
Thank
you.
y'all.
All right,
Thank y'all.
everybody. This was Not Your Normal with a K.
K.
Yeah.